This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good evening. Welcome to the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. I am BA. We got Bo Crouch with us and James Martin. How you fellas doing today?
Doing good.
I know I'm doing just ducky. I can't even talk right now. I'm so happy now. But
hey,
yeah,
about to tie that series up.
Yep. And like I said, I'm with you. Though, Bo. I think that the problem with the game 5 with Scooble, and we're talking about the Seattle the Seattle-Detroit series here, wrapping up. It's 9-3. It's Seattle's down their last 3 outs.
Would you score another one? God, all I did was walk downstairs.
Yeah, that was a manufactured run. That wasn't a home run. So it's going to go to Seattle, but Seattle has Scooble's number. I don't necessarily know it's Scooble that's the problem. It's the relief pitching after Scooble. And that's when they usually tag him. Now, Polanco did a heck of a job last time, though. Polanco hit him for 2 home runs.
I was going to say.
I don't want to see that no more. Scooble got stopped. And it was bad when he was pitching to Polanco. I could tell he was struggling because he was trying to pitch around him, but pitch to him at the same time. And I was like, I could see he was struggling with it. He was like, I don't want to throw another home run at this guy. This guy's on fire. And I was like, just walk him. Right. Just walk him. That's all you got to do. Don't even worry about it. It's going to be a hit on your stats, but you know what? Who cares? Don't give up that home run. Sure enough, out the park it goes. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting in Seattle. Like I said, if it gets to the game 5, I'm not really high on Detroit. Right
so
now,
here's why you should be.
Uh-oh.
Is because of the way you're winning game 4. So if you snuck by in another 3-2 game, I would agree with you. Probably doesn't go your way. The fact that you have 9 runs bodes well for you because it means you figured out the pitching because you're going to see the same relievers. Right. So you figured out the pitching, and really through the course of the season, if you get more than 4 runs, you beat the Mariners. Like that's our magic number. If you get 4 or more, most of the time we don't win. And even if you score 14 and we just will randomly find 13 runs, like we'll still find a way to come up short. But as soon as you pass that 4-run mark, that really seems to be that killer for us. So the fact that you guys are kind of on a roll, found a way to start making hits, that's what worries me. If it was another 3-2 type of game, I'd be like, oh yeah, we got you.
Yeah, but I mean, do you really think though that carries over to, we had this conversation with Jack and Keith all the time about, momentum going forward. Do you think that momentum will actually carry to Seattle for the Tigers? I'm not sure. I'm not with this team.
Yes, and not necessarily in the way you're thinking though. It adds some confidence, and confidence builds hits, right? Confidence aids in success. So when you're looking at the first few games, they just could never quite really get it going offensively. That is very different momentum-wise. Like a win in itself doesn't create a win next week, right? Like that's not how that works. But if all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm seeing the ball, that can carry on because you're seeing the same guys. It's not like you're like, okay, I'm starting to see the ball and now I'm going to get all new pitchers. You're going to go back to guys you've already played. And so it's Yeah, that's not a shock. Yeah, so I mean that's momentum can carry in that way.
I mean, the pitcher that you threw out there, he is like one of your lower good pitchers, though, right? He's one of the guys that you wouldn't hand off the ball to start a series. You would probably have him in.
Our starting pitching wasn't the issue today anyway. It was our relief. And Vargas, one of the guys you beat up, is also who gave up the runs in our loss earlier. Also gave up some of those runs that got you close the other night. So, no, we have some liabilities, and you guys are starting to dial in on them.
Well, the game is finally over with a final score of 9-3 Tigers.
Yep.
Friday.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
I'm with it.
Scooble, come on. Scooble, hey, you got to win one of these games. I mean, you can't keep getting beat all the time. You say you got to win one somewhere.
You don't need to win one.
You don't need to win one.
You can win one next year against somebody else.
Speaking of games that are available right now, the Cubs are beating the Brewers 4-1 at the bottom of the second. Brewers lead that series 2-0. Tonight, the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees, and their Blue Jays are leading the series 2-1 at the Yankees. What do you think about that game? I mean, Toronto has really kind of had the Yankees number, and they had and Aaron Judge had to have one of those games for them to save one. I don't. Can he do it again? Can the Yankees do it again?
So the problem with Judge being your hero in the playoffs is he's not going to do it again. Like, we've seen enough playoff baseball with Judge. If it's coming down to him being your savior, hope you like Cabo, because he's going to have one or two good games and otherwise going to be very pedestrian. Mm-hmm. Regular season lights it up, but he might have got all of it out of the way in one game.
The pitchers in that game for Toronto is Lewis Varland and the Yankees' Cam Schlittler. I never know how to pronounce his last name. Schlittler? Does that work? Yeah. Schlittler.
Schlitz malt liquor.
Schlitz, exactly. That's immediately where my brain goes. So, at least we're all degenerates here.
Of course, that's a little bit too close to the other SH word. So, you got to really run that one through. So that's going to be them. And then Philadelphia at the Dodgers. Philadelphia's got a 2-0 series lead over the Dodgers. Dodgers have a 2-0 lead over Philly. And it's in LA. So helping them out. And the pitcher for the Phillies is Aaron Nola and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. There you go. Yamamoto. Is pitching for.
I couldn't talk for the last couple hours, but I got that one.
What was it? Come on, guys, give us some names that we can pronounce. Anyway, so that's going to be your docket for this evening. All these games are basically elimination games.
Yeah, everything.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun night of baseball for all those teams.
Yeah, I think Toronto gets it done. Dodgers probably close it out. Although Nola's good. He can do it. Mm-hmm. And Yamamoto's been inconsistent. So, you can beat him up a little bit, but I don't know. Philly just hasn't looked very good in this series so far. Feel bad for Pags because he's been there painted up and you keep seeing pictures of him.
Yeah, he's not having a good weekend.
That is funny. Pags is a meme.
He is.
Yeah.
And he really will be because he just flew into LA. And if they lose tonight, they'll focus on him for sure. Because he'll be
Mhm.
painted up. He'll be the only one. And if they lose, they're definitely gonna like pan over and be like, "Bam!"
I hope, man.
Uh,
I hope they can get back to Philly.
yeah, just for Pags' sake,
Yeah,
so he can at least get through one game and hey, I'm good, I'm fine. Although they're playing both the games in LA, so
Yes,
that, yeah,
both games. So that's gonna be tough.
yeah,
yeah,
they'd have to win them both and then come back to Philly, and that's a tall order. Dodgers
Yeah.
are the best roster money can buy.
hmm yeah. If
They are
Milwaukee, if
they are
Milwaukee wins,
the the Death Star and the villains, Darth Vader
right?
and the Empire.
Well, yeah,
Dun,
because they
dun,
just
dun, 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 dun.
bring out monopoly money to pay people. I mean, they got $1 billion
Yeah.
payroll. I should hope you're good.
Yeah, when you got some of your starters in there as relievers, that's telling you a whole bunch right there. If the Milwaukee Brewers win this game against the Cubs,
Yeah.
albeit they're losing 4-1 right now, but if they win, they come back and win. Do you think and I'm sorry I'm apologize to Pags beforehand, but I don't think Phillies are going to win 3 games. It's just not going to happen. And the Dodgers played the Milwaukee Brewers. Keith, in talking to Keith, he says that Milwaukee plays really good fundamental baseball, really good defensively and offensively. Do you think they have a chance of knocking off LA?
Yeah, because they play small ball, right? So they are good at manufacturing runs. And that's something that is useful against teams that rely heavily on home runs. So the LAs and the New Yorks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can play fundamental baseball and manufacture runs in a traditional way, you can absolutely beat, bombers, because they're not always going to hit them all, right? But if you're also a team that can only yank them out, that's a problem. But if you're really good at small ball, yeah, you can hang with anybody.
Yeah, I'm liking that too. But Milwaukee has a propensity to kind of bail out in the postseason for some reason or another. I don't know if this. I mean, every year is different.
You don't think this is a different team though?
I mean, yeah, that's what I was alluding to. It's a different team. So
I mean, you asked me if they could, not if they're gonna. It's the Brewers. Like what?
I'm saying there.
Hey, that's like saying the Mariners are gonna go win it all. It's like, can they? I mean, sure. Except I've watched them play my whole life. So.
Yeah. So going to, let's see what we got this week.
Also,
Bo, did you
the Brewers are also a team that's never won the series. So
yeah. Bo, did you bring your top 10 with you for NFL?
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me just
a very good talking point. How is Alvin Kamara doing there, James? I heard that he was a little limp.
Pause.
Yeah, limited. I mean,
this segment brought to you by Viagra.
I'm gonna have to say I don't know where you got that rumor from, but I can't confirm or deny. Yeah. So
Bourbon Street. No.
I haven't heard anything about that. So I don't. I mean, maybe that's
it
news
just
to
came
me.
up on my ticker. That's why.
And if so, it's not going to be a bad thing because now you're starting to find Kendrick Miller starting to find his stride. And so, he actually led in rushing against the Giants with maybe I think it was 12 carries or so with 40 or less with 41 yards, whatever it is. He was 4.1 a clip. So, and he definitely he looks like he's found his stride. And I think going up against the Patriots, they're not that great against run defense, but they're a good team. They're looking to find their stride as well. But I think Kendrick Miller definitely will step in if Alvin Kamara can't be a go. And so, and that would allow the rookie Devin Neal to pop up off the practice squad if as an inactive. I think he was just a healthy scratch inactive because of the players they needed to add on like Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau. So yeah, but Kendrick Miller would definitely fill the void if Alvin Kamara can't go.
And it's still early in the week, a lot of these, come up here, and a lot of them are days of rest for veterans. They just call them, limited playing time or DMPs, just because they're under rest. Other than that, I mean, and then another thing that's been hilarious all through today. I mean, this Flacco support is hilarious. He gets traded, and next. Every other thing that's coming to me is about Flacco. Oh, Flacco's this, Flacco that, and then Zach Taylor confirms Flacco is a Bengals starter. He's going to start Sunday, and he fits our style. Now that could be he fits our style. Losing, okay. I don't know what the style. What is your style? What is Cleveland's style?
The equivalent of Medicare is what he is right now.
I think their style is hurting quarterbacks, and he will fit right into that.
Yeah, the offensive line is horrible.
Yeah,
it got Joe Burrow hurt. Because he has a run all over the place, and that's what happens when you run all over the place. One of your toes just decides to say, nope, it ain't happening today. And and then, of course, Browning, what do you throw, about 20 interceptions by the time he got replaced? And he's running for his life. That's the reason why he's throwing a lot of interceptions, because he's running for his life.
And at this juncture of Flacco's career, he's not going to be running from anywhere. He's got cinder block for feet right now, so there's no way he's going to, avoid pressures and sacks. That means that what they're going to have to do is make sure he can get rid of the ball, release within 2 seconds. That's pretty much it.
So here's my question for you guys, because I've seen a lot of pro Flacco stuff too, it's funny to me. Because they're like, oh yeah, he did so good with the Browns. And it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he put up some yards, but his touchdown to interception ratio is like 1-to-1. That's not great. Like, I don't know what games they're watching. Like, maybe I got different film. I don't know. But like when I watch the games, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's been able to move the ball. He makes as many mistakes as he makes positive plays. Like, what is the great thing here? I guess I'm missing it. Maybe I'm new to football. Maybe that's the problem.
I think people are looking at it. The situation is that he's going to an offense that has a great dynamic 1-2 punch in Jamar Chase and Higgins. Yeah. So, but again, we just, alluded to that. You have to actually have someone, a wall in front of you to block, especially if you're not someone that's mobile at all. So,
you have to survive to throw it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just send him on his way with his AARP card. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
So Bo has given us his
this
top
week's
10 ranking there.
Yeah, the power
week.
ranking. So a couple of names get on there that I've reluctantly kept off. The Steelers still don't, because the team they would knock off is the one that beat the hell out of them. So, can't move them in yet. But teams like the Chargers, stuff like that are actively finding ways to lose. I moved the Niners up because somehow they keep winning with nobody on their roster. So you have to just tip your hat to it, right? I mean, you look at the Niners and you're like, I don't understand how you're winning. Yeah. And then, I got to take the Colts seriously. Even in a loss with a dumb play against the Rams, they looked really good. Then, obviously you have to you got to play whoever's on your schedule, right? And so they just destroy the Raiders. Yeah. So that's kind of where it fell in. Lions move up to number 1 for me. Because outside of that first loss, they've looked really good. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
How about the Jags?
Yeah, right? I was keeping them off of there because, they hadn't beat anybody or anything, but they keep finding ways to win. They're kind of like the Bucks, right? Like they haven't been pretty wins. The Eagles haven't been pretty wins either, right? But they keep finding wins. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, dubs matter, right?
Yeah, I mean the Eagles. I think they try to find more ways to lose, and they just end up winning. That's what it is. 'Cause it seems like they don't play well in the second half, and it's like, oh, oops, I slipped on a win.
Zero
the Buccaneers.
pass yards.
Yeah.
0 pass yards a couple weeks ago in the second half, and you still win. Like I don't understand.
Yeah. The
So
Buccaneers.
they just recently had a meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and Saquon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because they did ask him about it, right, in the press conference. They're like, oh, was there a reason for the meeting? He's like, oh, it's just teammates being teammates. It's like, well, I mean, that's kind of not really true, but I can't think of any time that us players just had a meeting. Not when things were going well anyway,
Right.
So that's not really just teammates being teammates. But yeah, I don't know. That'll end up catching up with them.
Yeah.
Because their offense is out of sync.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's always something not right with Philadelphia in every other year. You ever notice that? It's like the year that they made the playoffs, or they made the playoffs after losing the last 5-6 games.
5-6 games.
Backed into the playoffs and got their butts handed to them by Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of stuff going on that year. And they started off the year. I think it was like 6-0, 7-0. They started off that year pretty good. So this is like deja vu for them. It's like every other year they just have issues. And it's I don't know. Sirianni, he's like the coach that you don't want to like, but he's a successful coach because he's taken that team to the Super Bowl twice. But at the same time, dude, you're letting all these players with these egos go nuts, and you need to shut that down. And just I was like explaining to Herb, I said, I hate to keep going to Dan Campbell, but you don't hear anybody on that team talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. People say, well, who's a better coach? Well, he took them to 2 Super Bowls. I said, yeah, well, the team has something to do with that too, and the coaches around him. But at the same time, I'd rather have a team. Well, I can't say that. I'd rather have a team go to Super Bowl too. But the point is, can we have less? Can we have less drama with it? That's what I need. I don't want to have any drama in this whole situation. I guess drama makes for better TV for the Eagles. I don't know. But when me and Herb were talking about your rankings, I kind of thought that maybe the Buccaneers and the Colts probably should go ahead of the Eagles, only because who thought the Buccaneers, man? Baker's got a resurgence of a career right now.
I'm with you with the Bucks. I still can't quite buy the Colts, and only because of they've just had bad teams on their schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like college where there's style points, but your schedule matters, right? So, but I mean, if they turn around and rattle off another couple wins, you can't put them in the back seat anymore.
No, because you can't help what your schedule looks like. I think it's just a matter of whatever game's in front of you. If it's a bad team, then you need to beat them badly. And it looks like that's who they are. You can just say that, okay, this team actually, regardless of their schedule, they actually look like they're world beaters right now.
Well, and that's why they jumped the way they did, right? They went from not on my list 2 weeks ago to jumping up and then jumping to ninth and then jumping all the way up here, because for that exact reason, right? You have to beat whoever's on your schedule. And if it's a bad team, you better beat them. And then they destroy the Raiders. And you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, like this team seems legit.
Yeah. And
I still can't get over the Jaguars. I still don't believe in them. I don't. They beat the Chiefs, but I mean, what are the Chiefs right now, to tell you the truth? I mean, they're not
2-3, I think. Yeah.
They are, but they're a team so they're not a good team currently, right? You're still 2 weeks away from them being a good team, because then they get Rice back and they actually start to get their full complement of players back. So yeah, the people that have beat up on KC early, sure. Right. I mean, especially before 2 weeks ago, they didn't have Worthy back either. You're talking their number one option was a number 3. And then, their tight ends don't look as good as they've been. So, I mean, yeah, it just hasn't been a great team. Their defense isn't as good as it's been over the last couple of years either. So KC hasn't been a good team, but they're about to get a lot better. And, so if you could beat them early, hey, that's a win for you, because that team's not going to look the same as the year goes on.
And hey, you got to give a little credit to Liam Cohen. I mean, he was a good offensive coordinator, and now it's starting to look like he's a pretty good coach. Because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sold on Jacksonville, and the jury's still out right now.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they're pulling up some wins. They only lost one game. I mean, it's still the beginning. I mean, but they're like they're heading in the right direction.
Well, and they're winning games on effort plays, right? Like, even when things are going wrong, you see their guys playing, right? I mean, this weekend, right? You have Lawrence, he falls down twice, then sheds a couple tackles to dive in. Couple of things on that play. Great individual effort, not taking anything away from him. Talk about some horrible tackling, and then Jones just not even trying on the play. Because he actually didn't even follow the play. So he actually would have had a clear line had he just ran to follow the play, but he started walking around. There's some great video of it. I don't have it queued up for this. I wasn't prepped for that, but I mean, if you watch that play, he's down to the bottom side and he starts to rush, but stunts the rush and then drops back, but then never follows the play. If he would have actually just spied Lawrence, he would have caught him. He would have had the angle on him. And so you can blame him as much for the success of that play as the individual effort by Lawrence.
Yeah. In fact, he's scrubbed his social media.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because I bet he was getting torched.
Oh yeah. which will make it interesting. I watch a lot of other podcasts. I watch yours, Bo. I watch Keith's. I also watch them on the Brown Brothers podcast too. And they were talking about going to Kansas City, and Amon brought up a good point. Is Kansas City out? Or they're not as good as people think they are? And before his brother really answered the question, he said, "I think they're still potentially a threat." He's going to say that anyway because we got to go play him next week. But the whole point of that is, I understand where he's coming from, and that's probably part of the reason why the line is so. It went up. It actually went up a point and a half, a point from after they won that after they lost that game. I figured maybe they figured that Kansas City is going to go into that pissed against the Lions, and they're at home. So, sure. I feel that, but
see, you guys do have the benefit of Rice misses. This is the last game he misses before he comes back, and that is beneficial for you guys, honestly. But no, there's no way KC's done. Give them all their toys back, and they play in a division that nobody seems to want to run away with. This division had their chance to step on their neck early, right? And instead, they're at 2-3. The Chargers didn't run away, right? They've fallen off the last couple of weeks. Denver's looked good, but do you honestly think Denver's that team? No, right? Going into this year, just about everybody would have said KC and the Chargers are the two teams you think are really going to win this division. Those two teams are sliding, right, to start. Denver is a fun story. They have talent. They're getting better. Do we think that this is their year? No, not really. Next year, maybe, right? As they get a couple more pieces and really start to gel and all of that. Can they be a playoff team? Sure. Yeah.
The Chargers situation looks like, I'm sorry. My apologies. No. The Chargers situation, it looks like with all their starters, which if anybody, every team had all their starters, they'd be looking like they're world beaters. But the Chargers with all their starters look really good, but you lose a couple of offensive linemen and it seems like all the wheels fall off because they don't have any depth. So I think that's their situation with them, because now you're starting to get to Justin Herbert, and he's not looking as good as he was like when he whipped the crap out of Kansas City in the beginning, that which is like, wow, I thought he was like totally back. But again, you lose Joe Alt and a top quality guard, right? 3 offensive linemen, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's hard. I mean, trust me as a Saints fan, I know firsthand how you lose all your offensive linemen and the wheels just fall off.
That Seahawks fan, We've had a decade of it.
Wow. Yeah. So it's just, I think it's going to be tough, and that division is probably going to be tighter than I expected. And it looks like the Raiders have a shot. It's not far away. The Raiders have a shot.
I know you didn't say the Raiders have a shot. Oh,
Captain Jack, if you're out there, Captain Jack, I salute you. I say you may have a shot, brother. Because
I like Captain Jack too, but no.
You did watch them just get 40 hung on them by the Colts.
Yes, right? I know. I'm just kidding. I just think I think though it's going to be a lot for the top 3 teams. It's probably going to be a lot tighter than people expect, and they're probably going to cannibalize each other because it's just going to be. It seems like no one's had a consistent first 4 or 5 games, and it doesn't look all that great. There's no clear leader in that group right now, not at all. Even with the Chargers, even if they are leading, the Chargers leading right now, right? I believe
technically,
they're 3-2, right?
Because of
but still, they don't. That looked like that could change any given Sunday, and so I just think that it's going to be tough for them. But going back to the Jags in the AFC South, those 2 teams between the Jags and the Colts, that's going to be a tough situation, and to see who takes that.
And still don't forget about Houston. Houston's still lingering around there. They're starting to get their players back, and they're starting to get their playmaking back. So we'll see.
And I'm glad you said that, because the kid that they drafted as their offensive tackle is holding his own. The blind side. He's out of Minnesota. I can't pronounce his name. Arete or something like that. Mm-hmm. Well, he's a big 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" guy, and he's holding his own.
It's funny because we all thought the South was going to be this cupcake division, and as it sits right now, you have 2 4-1 teams in it. Definitely a different division than what I mean. I looked at the Seahawks schedule and I'm like, oh, we play both South divisions. This is awesome. And then and now I'm looking at it. I'm like, all of a sudden this schedule's a lot harder than it looked before the season started.
Yeah, that was the Lions 2 years ago. We had to play both the South divisions. It was like, cool.
Right.
And, but and it's funny too, because the AFC North is usually the division that is the toughest. Mm-hmm. Pretty much all those teams in there are garbage. I mean, Pittsburgh's hanging by a thread, you know what I'm saying? But every one of those teams have real bad issues right now. Cleveland's Cleveland, and Cincinnati has no offense or defensive line.
The Ravens.
Pittsburgh's poor quarterback.
And the Ravens just, I don't know what the Ravens are doing right now.
The Ravens are
their defense is putrid, and it doesn't
Yeah.
help that Lamar Jackson hamstring is a moon over my hammy.
Yep.
It
No,
just
that's the thing, right? Is they're cooked without Lamar. It's a wrap.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, Cooper Rush isn't the answer. Sorry.
Yeah, he looked bad. I was
Mhm.
expecting so much more just because of what we saw in Dallas, right? When Dak went down, he wins those 5 games. Then he loses to Philly and they pull him. But man, he looked like he hadn't played football ever.
maybe it's a style of offense that he's in. I mean, RPO. He's isn't he more of a pocket passer guy? Cooper
He is
Rush.
better at that. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm. I mean, he has
Some of
some
that
athletic ability. He
some of
can
that
run
had
yeah,
to do with the fact that when he did that, the offensive line for Dallas was really good too.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
And that says a lot
Um,
because that's probably saying that Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry make that offensive line look a little bit better than they really are. Who knows?
so with the Titans beating the Cardinals, and I say that lightly because I really think the Cardinals beat themselves in that game. Just yeah, the highlights. That was a good reel you had there, Bo, with all the mishaps that they had. In fact, I saw one on TikTok right after that game. It said the 5 worst plays of the NFL week number 5, and all 1 through 5 was all the Cardinals. I was like,
oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, the
oh, you
Cardinals
mean it
are
wasn't the Saints? Thank goodness.
yeah,
no, just
well,
the Cardinals, they fumble going in, a showboating thing. Something we watched the Colts do last week, which
mm-hmm.
gave them their one, or the week before, I should say, that gave them their one loss, right? If that guy doesn't try and switch arms to be able to hold the ball out and showboat, that's a score. They beat the Rams, right? Because that fumble ended up leading to points the other direction. So, I
Yep.
mean, realistically, we could be talking about the Colts being undefeated.
Right.
But yeah, this last week, everything bad that could happen happened to the Cardinals.
Everybody's
This
Chad Penney.
reminds me of a basketball segment by Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq and the Fool. I mean,
Yes.
definitely,
Mm,
if you're just not going to hold on to the ball, I think the person that really looks like the Shaq and the Fool is the guy for the Cardinals because you just had a guy do the exact same thing the week before. You
Exactly.
can't follow and understand and learn from that. You do the exact same thing, 68 yards, and you 68-yard fumble. That's horrible. First of all, don't get me wrong. It's a boneheaded thing to do, but I still think it's a stupid rule. It's a stupid rule. I think it should be a fumble right there at the 1 or somewhere like that. I mean, a touchback is one of the worst things I think. I mean, I could be wrong. If you got what you tell me, guys, whether you agree or disagree. But I think it should be a fumble right there at the end.
I don't mind it being a touchback. I don't mind that. It adds a wrinkle to, again, defensive player. So, maybe some of that plays into it. But like it was cool to be able to be like, oh, this guy's about to score, be able to punch it out and put your offense in some great position. So yeah, maybe I'm biased in that way, but I actually don't mind the rule. If you don't want it to count, how about you hang on to the ball?
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But I think it's such a give me to the defense and giving over to the other team because especially if you smoke the defense, that's another thing. Nobody's even in the vicinity of the guy, and that it just gets you just virtually just punted the ball
Hmm?
into the other team. But
Hey,
yes, I going back to it. If you don't like you said, I agree with that sentiment. Hold on to the ball. That's
and
ultimately what matters.
the defense doesn't get very many wins, right? Like they take every advantage the defense has away all the time. So if we get like a little shred of something, like leave it alone. Let us keep something.
And speaking of defense, is not getting very many wins. When my Saints won yesterday, He almost got taken away with a drive with Carl Granderson got called for a roughing the passer on a sack play. And it wasn't a roughing the passer at all. Everybody that saw that, it was clear as day. It was textbook, tackle to the side, put him on the ground, and get out of the way. And immediately the flag came out. And you not only did you put us at risk for continuing to drive to possibly lose the game, you took away a sack for a guy who can be leading the NFL in sacks right now, and potentially can take a sack away from a guy who probably gets incentives for getting double-digit sacks. That's blasphemous.
Yeah. I mean, and literally was like hands up doing it. I mean, like you couldn't have had him follow any more of the rules, and you still see the flag pop, and you're just like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
And the only thing he's going to get from it is an apology. He probably won't get that sack back.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Refereeing at its best. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're only human. Yeah. Okay. Well, can I smack a human once in a while?
You can, but it costs you money because that's what we saw Gannon end up with, $100,000 fine for smacking this guy in the chest. So for that fumble.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about that? I mean, he apologized to him. I mean, that's great. And he said, well, I was in my emotions. And he said, I don't really want – this is the kind of conversation I had with her, too. I was like –
I'll give you the clip.
Yeah, here you go.
Was it a Ric Flair slap to the chest?
No,
this morning, and didn't feel great about it, honestly. And so in the team meeting, I addressed it. I apologized to Omari, apologized to the team.
He hit him twice.
And I just told him I kind of let the moment of what happened get the better of me there. Obviously, like I try to be emotionally stable and calm because my job is to solve problems when during a game. So it's not really who I am, who I want to be, and I told the guys that today. So it's a mistake by me, and it's just like everybody in there. Everybody made some type of mistake yesterday, which is, culminates to why we didn't win the game, and we can't let it happen moving forward.
So he hit him twice. He hit him once in the chest and then once kind of smacking him on the way out. And it's bad optics, right? Because you're seeing it on TV. Like, I would bet that stuff like that happens in practice. I remember the face mask grab and then hitting the top of your helmet with a whistle. What is wrong with you? Right? You're in the wrong spot or whatever, right? So
and you just take it. You just take it and move on.
Well, I mean, as a player, you're like, yeah, no, I mean, I was like, it's like, oh, you saw it too. Like,
and I think that apology is more political than it was anything else because, you got to coach. I'm sorry. You just got to coach. And if you don't have some emotion in coaching, during the game, then you're not only a human being, but you want your team to do good. And again, I hate to keep going to this same guy all the time, but Dan Campbell will cry on the podium for his guys. He'll be out there he'll be out there shaking his fist and hurrahing everybody and high-fiving everybody. And that's what you want to do. You want those. If something happens that's bad for your team, he's a coach. I mean,
you'll also see Campbell out there doing up downs with the guys too, so that's a little different. There's only two guys in the league that you think the players really follow the way they do Dan Campbell. It's Dan Campbell and Vrabel. Those are the two guys. Everybody else, you got to coach like a coach, right? Mm-hmm. And so, do I think that guy needed that in that moment? Probably not. Right? Because he's going to learn more from that getting played on repeat on SportsCenter than anything you can do to him. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, you probably don't, as the coach, don't have to bury him. Like, you got to talk about it for sure. Certainly in the film room. In the moment, you probably don't need to hit him a couple of times on national television. But, but at the same time, like, I grew up in that era of them grabbing your face mask or grabbing you horse collar and you like, get over here. Right? So I don't know. Maybe I view it differently. I'm not that mad at it, but
we're not soft.
Yeah. Like
That's
part
what
of-
you're saying, trying to tell the world that we're not soft.
I mean,
And what I would say is that these guys are leaders of men,
yeah.
but these are grown men with sometimes childlike minds. They're just so you're dealing with guys that a lot of times that are immature and kids, and you got to get them in line sometimes. Now, like you said, the optics probably looks bad, like you said, for national TV, for today's media, for today's society. You know, everything's politically correct. Like you said, the answer was likely politically correct. But with that said, is it going to happen again behind closed door in practice?
Oh, I thought you meant that.
More than likely. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Oh, that stuff absolutely happens on a practice field. Like,
Oh, yeah,
did
all
it
the time.
boil over to the game? Sure. That's like if you listen to us talk prior to the show going live, there's some other descriptive words that we don't typically use when the camera's on, right? Does it mean we don't use them? No, I use them like a connecting word, like and the. But once the camera goes live, it's like, oh yeah, let me pack that away for a minute.
And the team did fine him 100,000 for that.
Now the league did.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Oh, I thought the team did. Oh, see, we had this conversation earlier too. Somebody said that the team fined him, not the league.
Oh, see, from what I read initially, it was the league that fined him. In either case,
Yeah,
I mean,
who was the
you know,
kid? I think who said that? One of our commenters on there said that he.
Oh, I
pulled it
gotcha.
up.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
he should have gave him a Ric Flair slap to the chest then for that much money.
I mean, the second one kind of was. Like the second one was like a pretty good wind up on the way through. So I mean, like it was.
Woo!
It kind of was. It kind of was. So that wasn't the only guy fined though. Jerry Jones, $250,000 for flipping people off, and his response: "Oh, I was trying to thumbs up him." 0 days in my life have I ever somehow got my thumb and my middle finger mixed up. 0 times.
Jerry Jones is definitely trying to play in that senior card.
I mean,
they don't know
you
which
don't even
finger
hold
I
your
have.
hand the same way. Like this is pretty obvious. Versus, you know, there's a different rotation when you're.
But I'm going to say it probably was worth it for Jerry Jones because $250,000 for Jerry Jones is like a nickel versus $100,000 for that coach is a big chunk of change.
No question.
And he's trying to appeal it.
That's the typical billionaire. Every cent matters. They want that money back.
You know, it's funny though, because even if he eats the $250,000, he's just dominating the news cycle again, which is exactly where he loves to be. So really that just drops into the advertising budget.
He's flipped off, yeah.
No, he's absolutely, again, nobody has accidentally flipped someone off meaning to give you a thumbs up.
Right. I'm not telling you I'm number one. You're number one either. That's not going to happen. Yeah. And in a way, Jerry, I mean, you could kind of, I mean, the thumb and the middle finger thing. I mean, Jerry is starting to become the crypt keeper. So I don't know if he might have that arthritic lock, you know.
Okay.
What's going on with an 84-year-old hand?
A little rheumatoid action going on.
Yeah.
I think at that point
Going
you're
up the gang signs
actually having a stroke. Like,
yes. Jerry every Sunday.
Man.
So
hold on before you go anywhere. Speaking of Dallas, there's a question about whether or not Dak Prescott should have consideration at this juncture of the season for MVP.
Can we calm down? It's week 5. Like at this point, Daniel Jones would win it somehow. Like just let's. Soon as we're saying Daniel Jones is a front runner for the MVP, we can just be like, you know what? It's early. Because even though they are 4-1 and could have been 5-0, I still don't believe. You know, there's a lot of other film out there. And so, you know, let's calm down. We've seen Dak do this before where he looked good for the first half of the season and then falls apart and throws the ball to other teams and then gets hurt. So
I will say this: 2 seasons ago, he was second in MVP voting.
yes,
You know,
and they got hurt.
almost 4,500 yards, 36 TDs, whatever, 10 interceptions. Now, mind you, he looks like he's doing the same thing with just one receiver. You know, so I will say I can say just at this juncture, you know, with the limited amount of players that he has, and we understand what the definition of MVP means. He's your most valuable player to your team. And I would say that he is the man right now. But I agree with you. Let's wait till we get about halfway through. But I just want to see what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the same case for Stafford.
Yeah, absolutely. He's up there.
I guess Jared Goff is never going to be in this conversation because he's not a flashy guy.
No. That's not what he's saying. I think
No. I'm
Jared
just
Goff,
saying Jared Goff is consistently one of the better quarterbacks in the league,
Sure.
and he never gets that recognition because he doesn't have the flair, the dramatics that the other quarterbacks have in that race, like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. You ain't going to see him running out the pocket and throwing. That's not Goff's game. I
think the biggest thing is when you look at it, when you look at the MVP situation, there's so many variables in there, but one of them has to be that you're the best player on your team. I'm not saying that Jared Goff is not the best player on his team, but he has a lot of weapons, man. I mean, to have two running backs that total 3,000 plus yards, it's easy to say, okay, I can still be successful here, but I got these running backs. I mean, we're talking about Dak Prescott, who's standing behind him. I mean, horrible. And he still got his team in the contention in the NFC East, you know, I mean, as of right now.
Well,
but I mean, I think that's the biggest thing.
It's never been a problem, and it hasn't been a fact about his weapons. I mean, he's got weapons around him. His offensive line is doing really well. The offense is not the problem with Dallas. It's the defense that's the problem with Dallas.
The defense is awful.
Yeah. Defense is horrible.
Yeah. No, so here's why Goff will never be in there. It's why Russell Wilson never got a vote when he was in Seattle. Was he dynamic? Was he the reason that some of those wins happened? No question. But he was never a front runner in the passing yards category. Passing yards and touchdowns are a huge element for a quarterback to win the MVP. And Goff just isn't there because
that's not true. I mean, not now. There. But Goff last year or the year before, he was second.
He was second behind Burrow in the yards, and I think he had he was first in. I think he was first in yards and second in touchdowns. Somewhere, him and Burrow were like up in 1 and 2 in quarterbacks.
Touchdowns too for Goff. Goff is up there in touchdowns.
He had the highest completion rating too.
Yeah, he just didn't have the rushing dynamic that the other two guys did. So
that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all about today's quarterback and what they can do.
Sure.
They can run outside and throw the ball and stuff like that. Yeah, that's why Goff's never going to win the MVP because he's not.
But as unfair as it may be to Goff, it's just like the tush push. It's a part of a game. If you have it, it's an added advantage to you. And that's just what it is.
Well, and I mean, because you don't have it, those yards go to your running back. So it pulls away from your total yards as a player. And
Correct.
When you're looking at the MVP, it's direct impact. It's why Josh Allen is always in that conversation because 80+% of that offense has to run through him because he hasn't had dynamic running backs and he's kind of had to do everything. And when you think of most valuable, it's the guy that does it with the least amount of help. Right? That's where it's that valuable part comes in. Because when you look at Goff and you're like, okay, could another quarterback come in and do what he's doing? Feasibly, yes. Right? Could another quarterback go in and be Josh Allen? Man, pack a lunch. Like you might find a guy, but you can probably find a guy that can effectively stand behind a decent offensive line and distribute the ball if you can keep them upright. Right? Like you've seen Sam Darnold do it. Now, last year, first part of this year, like, okay, is he a super dynamic runner or anything? No. You're like, please let the line hold up, right? And Goff kind of is that same way. Where Stafford gets away from some of that dynamic is because he's not a runner, obviously, is because all that dude does is throw for 4,500 yards a year, right? Like that dude is a fantasy stat monster his whole career, even when he was in Detroit, right? When you guys couldn't play defense to save your life, your offense still functioned, right? You could never outscore a defense, but I mean, his fantasy points were off the charts.
He was a 5,000 yard thrower once in his career.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Stafford is a difference maker and all along, but you got to remember when he went to the Super Bowl, he had 44 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, and 6 of those were returned for touchdowns.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember the game that Stafford had against Baltimore in that Super Bowl year. And they beat Baltimore in Baltimore. But basically, Stafford came back. He had to save the game because he gave away the game at first.
Yeah.
He had two pick sixes in that game, and he came back and won the game at the end. And throwing a long dart touchdown to I think it was Odell.
So you're saying he threw 6 touchdowns? Like,
yeah. He's great. It's awesome.
A two-way MVP.
Yeah, and I'm trying to learn to accept that Goff's not going to be an MVP, even though you got to pass the ball. I mean, you still have to be accurate with it. You still have to make right decisions. It's
well, I mean, it is
what it is.
At least he's been in the consideration. If you can believe it, the 10 years Russell Wilson was here, he didn't get a single MVP vote, not one.
Yeah,
he's always been like a mid-season front runner or something like that, but for whatever reason, it curtails off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's had a couple of seasons where people consider him MVP.
Well, right. It was interesting last year because Goff had, he was in the MVP running at the beginning of the season. Then he had a Houston game, and then it was like, no more Goff. I was like, they still won the game. I know he threw like 4 or 5 interceptions, but they still run the game. And then he played fine all the way. He played fine all the way through the rest of the season. And it was like, yeah, well, you just messed up, buddy. You just threw too many interceptions. You're out.
That 5 interception game buried him.
Oh, man.
That's all anybody could think of.
Yeah. Who was it against? Jacksonville? Who was that?
Houston.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And they won that game.
That game was rare. Crazy. Mm-hmm. Like if you were playing if you had him as your fantasy quarterback, you lost that week. No question.
But he still had what? I think he had like 2 touchdowns in that game still.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Lions came back and won that game, basically because the defense went out there and shut down Stroud. So it was a really good game. It was a fortunate game because you don't win many games turning the ball over 5 times.
No,
in fact, I think that was the first time. Yeah, I think that was the first time in like so many years that had happened. That
it was like the second time ever.
Yeah, second. Yeah. But anyway, we are going to conclude this show, folks. It's been real. I'm going to be on tonight with Sonia on her Prim and Proper show. We do have Friday Night with the Fellas. And then on Saturday and Sunday is the debate show and the big football show. And Bo has his show.
Actually, tonight, watch on my YouTube. I'm going to be on a Jacksonville show because my Seahawks meet up with Jacksonville this week.
Next week.
And so that's going to be fun because unfortunately for me, I'm kind of leaning towards the Jags beating us.
You want to put out the actual podcast?
Yeah, it's the Duval Dive. So, and it's with Travis Holmes, who is a writer for the Jaguars.
Duval.
Hey, I think you guys will win. Because I still can't believe that
my apologies.
I still can't believe Jacksonville is where they're at. I picked Seattle anyway, so I already picked Seattle, so I'm just letting you know.
There you go.
All right, fellas. Well, this has been real. Like I said before, everybody have a good rest of your evening. Again, like catch Bo tomorrow morning and tonight. And you got your fantasy show tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, tomorrow is a really busy day also. So yeah, we have our normal coast to coast in the morning, and then I broadcast our Pick'em show directly from Crucible Brewing in Everett. And so yeah, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, come out and watch Thursday Night Football with us and have a beer and talk sports.
All right. On that note, cheerio.